Hey yo, what's crackalackin' Challenger? I'm your host James Morelan, and guys, today I'm going to be talking about my discus and the fact that they're starting to disappear, or they're starting to I don't know how to describe it. So a couple days after I got my discus, I started to notice some weird formations forming on the discus. So I've actually noticed like black dots starting to appear on them, and then over a couple days it got bigger and worse, and I didn't know if like a fish was attacking the discus, if they're I don't know, like ripping off scales or something, if they're hitting themselves, running into the tank. I don't know, my mind went everywhere. I was really freaking out, and I decided to reach out to my friend Corey from Aquarium Co-op, and instantly he told me to look something up called peppering. So I did that, and I actually did a lot of research, and I found out some pretty interesting things about it. Alright, so there's something called peppering. Peppering is actually a pretty strange process that's actually kind of cool that fish have. Not all fish, only fish that carry the blood parrot gene. So my discus do carry that. So basically what peppering is, when fish start getting spots on their fin, most notably black spots, that's why it's called peppering, like salt and pepper. But basically, these fish are doing that to blend into their surroundings. They're not being attacked, they're not being like bullied or anything. It's not really aggression related. So they're trying to blend into the natural surroundings to become less stressed. They don't want to be standing out. It's kind of like a survival technique that they use. And as you can see, the substrate in my aquarium is black, the background is darker, so of course they want to try blending it into black. And that's something that I like to do, and that's why, as you can see, the background of my entire fish room is painted black. But I really wanted to try something new with this tank, so I decided to go to the store and actually pick up some white paper. Alright, so I did get some poster board that I will be using to do a DIY background. So usually people recommend having a white substrate and like a lighter substrate and then having a blue background. That usually looks better. I don't really like white backgrounds. I have kept it before in my betta fish sorority. However, I guess I'll have to do it so these guys get used to it. Now this process takes weeks, so it's not going to happen instantly. They're not going to color up. But when we're dealing with such like a beautiful fish like the discus that's so colorful, we want to make sure that their colors are showing completely. So to do that, we're going to be doing a better background. And I know you guys have been telling me to do this, and I've just been waiting so I can film this video and be able to explain to you what this is. Now, not all fish do have this gene, but some fish do. So if you do notice spots on your fish, just like these discus, that may be it. So to solve that, just like I'm doing, you can get a lighter background or change your substrate. So yeah, it's going to be great for them. I also did want to wait because I didn't want them to go from dark to light instantly. I kind of wanted to let them get a little bit used to it so they won't be extremely stressed. So I'm going to be doing a cheap background for this. And by cheap, these two pieces of paper actually cost me 50 cents each, so that's $1. I know math. So I just want to show you what it's going to look like when everything's set up and done. Oh yeah, stay tuned because I have some cool things I want to show you guys at the end of the video. Basically, that's what it's going to look like. I'm not really super into it, but whatever the fish like, I will do for them. So I'm actually going to put it around the tubes and have it in front of it so you don't see those. And to secure it, I'm just going to be using regular duct tape, because that always works. I don't really know what I think of it. What's going to be good is, as I'm sure some of you know, white is a color that actually reflects light compared to black that absorbs light. So the lighting for my aquarium, instead of just being absorbed by the black background, it should reflect some of the light off of it and shining light from the other side. So it'll make my lighting in my aquarium look a little bit better, and also it will provide more lighting for the aquarium plants. So that's a plus to this. Although I do like the depth that black adds. I mean, you can't win them all. Oh snap, that's cool. Okay, so actually that looks so seamless. So I guess something really cool happened. I guess I decided to have it like this. These pieces of paper are bent. One is facing outward away from the aquarium. The other one is facing inward toward the aquarium. And when they're put up together right next to each other, they cancel each other out. So it's like completely flush. That is awesome. And there's overlap, but it looks flush. Like I can't even tell the difference. So this is a $1 background for your aquarium. And when I was actually buying this, I did specifically look for thicker cardboard or cardstock. They usually have a little bit like a 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch thick. I originally wanted that so it would provide some insulation to the aquarium, because this is at like an 80-degree aquarium and foam insulation is better than glass for the most part. So I did want to have that, but they didn't have any, and I really wanted to get this in to show you guys. Oh yeah, you might be able to see this aquarium. Don't pay attention to that, but I did just post a video on my new massive aquarium behind me, so if you did not see that, make sure you check it out. But this is so cool. I have avoided getting backgrounds for my aquarium. That's not something I really like to have, but since these are against the wall, I mean, it's better than just looking at the plain wall. So yeah. And something I do instead of having to stick my hand in the aquarium is I have this big syringe. This is like 100 milliliter maybe. But basically I suck water up, and let's say that there is a plant with a lot of dirt on it, I can actually spray it with this to get that dirt off. Now that this new background has been set up for this aquarium, I actually want to hear from you guys. Do you have a background in your aquarium? And if so, what do you have? Do you have like a blue background, a black background, a rock or fake looking background, an ocean background, or actually, if you have a background like this? I actually won this background during a giveaway during the Chicago Aquatic Experience. That was pretty cool. Okay guys, so now I'm actually going to go get some food for my discus so that you're actually able to see them eat. This is one of the joys in my life where I'm able to actually watch these guys eat. It's actually really adorable and pretty cool. I am getting some cool things for the fish room, and one like aesthetical thing that I've decided to do was get like glass jars and fill them up with fish food. So like it's like filled with food, and it's like kind of aesthetical. Like you can see this one has flake food, this one has beef heart pellets for the discus, and yeah, it's like really easy and convenient. So when I take this and I can just go to each one of my aquariums and throw some food in, it's actually really awesome. So I'm gonna throw some in for the neon tetras first, and I guess the barbs. Throw some of these pellets. I am trying to get the discus to eat those beef heart pellets. It's just gonna take some time for them to get used to it. So I'm gonna go around feeding some of my other fish, and we'll be back in a second. Alright guys, so here's the frozen food, and my mom actually yelled at me earlier today because she found this and she doesn't want me to keep it in my freezer upstairs. So yeah, I did get yelled at. And you guys don't know the kind of convincing I've had to do to keep these aquariums. Like, it's been a lot. Alright, so I'm going to throw this piece of food in, grab the camera so you guys can see what it looks like, and here we go. Alright guys, so looking a little bit more at this background, I don't know how much I am a fan of it just because like it makes everything look a little bit crooked. Because my measuring is not always perfect. So when I have my intake hose and my other heater, it doesn't look bad without a background, but when there is a background it shows you how uneven it is. So I guess I'll have to change that, but other than that, everything's ready. Everything looks pretty good. My discus are doing really well, my other fish are doing really well, the plants are doing pretty well. And as you can see, like some of the plants have started to fill in that you might have not seen earlier, and I have noticed some of the snails have been eating them, which is actually kind of bad. So I will keep you updated with this aquarium and my discus, but other than that guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out h2oplants.com, use the code Challenger20 to get 10% off your order. It helps a lot, and it's pretty awesome. So check those links out down below. You can get some plants for yourself in your own aquarium. Hey yo, what's poppin'? So this is actually the day after I installed my new background, and I actually want to show you guys how the fish are doing, and I think I'm going to be doing updates in all my other videos about how the discus are doing, and if they're starting to get their color instead of having like one separate video later on. So as you can see, the lights haven't even been turned on yet. It's actually pretty early. You can see a Cory cat sleeping on a leaf. That's pretty adorable. Alright, so you can see the neon tetras. Everything's just like suspended. It's like early in the morning for them. Let's see if I can get a look on some of these fish. Oh my gosh. Wait, I've never even noticed that much debris. There's a lot of detritus floating in this aquarium. I might have to add a new filter to this aquarium. That is no bueno. Yo, that's actually really not good. Alright, I guess I know what I'm going to be doing later today. Come on, discus. And this is the new tank. As you can see, it is coming along pretty well. I just put a base layer of substrate in This layer you're not actually going to see. I am going with a lighter substrate, and I'll be talking about that in a different video. But basically I added this more coarse substrate to the bottom so that eventually when roots grow down past like the sand layer, they'll actually have bigger things to root onto, and it'll be easier for them to grow across because sand compacts. However, this soil is really big and coarse, so it won't really be able to compact. Man, I really want to show you guys these discus. Yo, I have a big runny nose. I hate waking up early. Alright, I guess I'll just have to come back later in the day and show you guys these when they're swimming out, and yeah, or I might just end the video here and be able to include it in a different video. Alright guys. And now that this video is done, you're actually able to see this video with my big aquarium. Or if you also want to check out when I got a baby betta fish that is absolutely adorable, you can check that out also. I will see you all on the flippity flop. Catch you guys later. Bye.